Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in for another episode of basically Tech Fridays. Right, it's been doing a couple weeks now, a couple different social media stuff, bringing it to you. Thank you for Dan for joining us for leading it.
Love to
Um,
be here,
and
Gary.
and with every episode, makes my Facebook even stronger. So which is a great comfort. So tell me, we're gonna merge the pages today, right? I know the first time we built the business page, which actually worked out great. It took about an hour and a half after we
Okay.
came off, but I think it's just because the more friends you have, more time it takes to get everybody to be liked, right?
Yep.
I think the biggest key is to keep having. Every time I like a new friend, I got a lot new requests and make sure they get to that page. And so you're only requesting like 6 more, 10 more at a time rather than the whole 2,000 gamut of people, you know?
Yep.
And of course, everybody wants to like a page that has 2,000 likes already,
Yep.
rather than sending a like to, you have 10 likes and they're like, I don't want to like this page. What's
Yeah.
going on? So it definitely helped. I don't get too many people waiting to say yes to like the page as I did before. So why are we merging it? Like I only have 200 on the other one. Is it necessary? Is it necessary evil? Should people do it or forgo it?
So it just depends on how much you use your previous page, right? So the
Mhm.
reason you would want to merge is because you don't want two duplicates, right? You want to guide everyone to one central source of information, which is you, but you don't want to have to spend twice the amount of time to post on two different pages and, confuse people on which one you want to use. I've seen newer agents that never had a page before. They don't have to do this merge, right? They just create it the first time and then that's it. They're set to go. Now, agents who have been in the business for a long time might have some reviews on their page and they might have some awesome posts that they've had previously that they don't want to lose. So that is the major reason why you want to merge, is to keep all your content from your previous page. So the idea would be that we're dragging over all the likes from the newly created page into the older page. So basically what we do is we just created a new page to exempt it. We're basically going
Okay.
to, in this process, we'll be deleting technically the new page we just did, but what we're doing is we're dragging over all of those likes. So what you're doing is you're basically just injecting a giant steroid into your old page by merging it. So some people
Okay.
might have been in the business for like a decade. So that's kind of the reasons why is you don't want to lose a decade worth of posts or reviews or comments or videos. So that's the main reason why.
Okay. So we're really taking the new one we just built and basically putting it back into the old one we previously had.
Correct. Yeah. You basically used a glitch technicality to add organically all your friends and followers and friend requests into likes, just to push them into the old page. So that's essentially what you're doing.
Okay. So like, last week when we merged the pages, so we won't really have to put too much stuff on that new page we're making. You know how we had to click a bunch of things to
Correct.
put them up because since we're going to merge them together anyway, the content is already there, right?
Yeah, you want to put a few things just to show that the page is active, so that
Yeah.
Facebook's algorithm and AI like understands, okay, these pages are similar. But the biggest key is to make sure that they are one and the same as far as service type, same phone number, same email address, like as far as the information. So we're going to go through that today when we look through the settings and make sure that they match across both pages. I know I just told you that we only need one at a time, one tab open, but we're actually going to need two now that I think about it,
Okay.
because we want to make sure that the information is correct before we do this process. It makes it easier. If you've got an address on one, make sure that we have the address on the other. So we're
Okay.
definitely going to want to do that because it's easier for Facebook to recognize this. I've had people literally follow me around after they try this process for weeks saying, Dan, it didn't work. Dan, it didn't work. Dan, it didn't work.
Mm.
It's because the system flagged that they weren't almost identical. So, Gary and I had talked earlier this week and
Yeah.
he sent me a message and he's like, okay, well, what should I change the name page to? And so he sent me a screenshot of both. And I said, perfect, because it needs to be almost
Similar.
identical when it comes to the names. But obviously Facebook's not going to let the same two different pages have the same name. So obviously it's got to just be close enough to it. So we kind of pulled the trick, and you guys will see it a little bit when Gary shares his page. But we want to make sure that the information on the back end is also the same. So we want to make sure that if, for the services, that they're both real estate services, and we want to make sure that those categories are the same, that the phone numbers are the same. So Gary, if you want to open up and share the screen so we can see what
Yes.
both your pages look like, so we can just kind of double check to make sure that that's all good.
All right. All right. So this is the previous page, the first one. I did change the name so it could be similar. So the name here is Gary Etienne's. I just added S on it.
Yep.
And this is the newer page that we made.
Okay, perfect.
My
So
thing is this making? Can I still keep this when I merge the pages, or do I lose this one and use the original?
this is the new one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not going to keep that new username. It's going to wipe that data. So,
Okay.
but you can always edit the other page after this is all
To
said and done.
change
Yeah.
into that new one, right?
Correct.
All
Yep.
right.
And that would be my recommendation because this will disappear. So, let's go into settings for this page on the top right.
All right.
And actually, while that's loading, go ahead and open up the settings on the other page as well, on the other tab.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so right there, you're going to go to general. So right there, let's see what it says. Page effects, scroll down a little bit more. Seller page updates.
Merge. There goes
Content.
merge.
All right, so that is where you'll do the merge. What I was actually looking for was like the categories page. So let's go to the page info on the left-hand side on the tab.
Oh, sorry, this one?
Yep, that's okay. All right, so right there for categories, you've got commercial real estate agency, real estate service, and apartment and condo building. So let's open up the same exact tab on the other page, and let's see what the categories are for that. Okay. This will help speed up your process. When I had Jennifer and Carnestone do this, it took about a month and a half for them to finally merge, and these were some of the things that had to be changed on it. So this one says real estate service, and commercial real estate agency. So the only one that you have in common right now is that commercial real estate agency. So let's go ahead and I don't know which ones you want to keep. So let's pick 3 that we want to keep, and then just you want to keep those 3. Okay, so let's go to the other page, and let's delete the well, I think we had real estate service on both, right?
Yes.
All right, so let's delete the third one on this one, and go ahead and type in something that matches or the same one from the other one.
Let's take a look because I forget. Real estate, just plain real estate, I think.
Oh, yeah. So you'll have to delete real estate service. And then you had just plain real estate. So delete the real estate service.
I think I have service too.
Okay, service. You do. Okay, that's correct. All right, so go back to the other one, save it. Okay, the phone number. Let's double check to make sure it's the same on both ones.
Yeah.
Perfect. Scroll down a little bit more. Website. Do we have anything for this? Yes, we do.
Let me see. I have website. Yeah, building. Let me see what I have for here. Yeah. Similar, same one.
Okay. Email address.
Yes.
Let's make sure it's the same.
Yep.
Okay. Scroll down a little bit further.
I don't have the HTTP on. Does that matter?
No, that's not going to matter.
Okay.
Address.
I don't think I have an address on the other one.
Okay. I would add that address.
Okay.
And it's funny because I've been getting notifications of who's been following our steps. Lola Slater is one of the best at executing. I tell you, every time we teach something, she's just right on it right away. She's been watching this like a hawk, and honestly, it's been great because she's been following through. She's got a huge page and followers and likes now, and I was like really impressed with it. So
this needs to be Ozone Park. Zip, my love. Hold on.
Also, 11,417.
Just want to make sure. So that one matches.
Okay.
Save.
Let's see if hours. Let's see if they match.
Save changes. Hours. I think the new one I put always open because you
Correct.
said put that, so I just put that here. What about the areas, the service areas? Should I change that or?
You could. Like I said, the closer it looks, the better.
Because I didn't even put nothing here, so I could just to make it easy to just delete these ones on the sake. Because I could always add it after I merge, right?
Correct.
Okay. I think that is it.
All right, perfect. So we got to make sure that we saved everything that we've saved. So you'll see there, Gary's already done that. And I think that's pretty much it for the majority of things. And this is always going to be a trial and error part, right? Because if it doesn't work the first time, we can press and find out as to why it didn't work the first time and adjust what we need to. But the idea is this: is if it doesn't go through the first time, do not, I repeat, do not blow up the system with merge requests. What you're doing is if you're sending a request every day, every hour, or even every other day or every 3 days, you are telling Facebook that you are a problem for Facebook by doing that. I have friends that their pages are on lockdown because of how many times. And they were like, oh, I requested it 10 times. I was like, in a week? And they're like, yeah. Oh, man. This poor little dog in my, or not dog, but these poor little squirrels in my backyard are about to get it. There's a hawk. We have a neighborhood hawk and it's hanging out on our umbrella right now and it's trying to hunt all the squirrels. But anyways, I digress. So if you end up being like my friend that's going to remain nameless, who ended up doing like 10 to 15 requests in a matter of 4 days, you will never be able to use that Facebook page again. Period. It is against their rules and policies for you to abuse the system. And this is an abuse, but by requesting it that many times, you're telling them that you are a problem that they do not want to deal with. So what they're going to do is they're going to go ahead and red flag your page, put it on lockdown permanently for forever. I've been working on this friend's page for about a year and a half now, and I still have yet to get it out of Facebook jail. The page still exists. The public cannot see it, and he has an extra 2,000 likes he'll never get. I've talked to some people, physically talked to people at Facebook who have put in requests for me to unblock that page, and to no avail. Facebook's not a fan of you nagging or blowing them up for useless nonsense because you're not paying for this service. You're using the service down the road and eventually paying for ads if you do. But if you're just gonna blow them up with notifications on their end, they're not gonna like it very much. So
good to know.
Once you've seen this setup and you make sure that almost everything is exactly the same, what you want to do is you want to do what we're about to do when it comes to the merge request. Now, afterwards, if it doesn't work in about 7 days, I would set a calendar reminder for day 8 saying check pages to see if it works. It'll give you a notification too when it does. Sometimes if it doesn't go through, it'll give you a notification. But for the most part, if it doesn't go through, it might not even say anything to you. You're allowed to request this like once in a blue moon. So what I would do is I would set a reminder in your calendars from 8 days from the day that you actually tried to do this. So that way you can check on it. If it doesn't work, wait 1 more day and then try it again.
Now, when it merges, you won't see that other page anymore at all, right?
Correct. You won't see the other page. It will just become one, and it should tell you at that point in time, like, hey, your merge was approved and it's been completed. Like it should give you a notification when you actually successfully get your merge approved.
Okay.
So. All right. So which is the page that you want to keep? Obviously, it's going to be the one that you've had for quite some time. That's the one where you want to keep all the posts and content that it's got, potentially reviews. So that's the page you want to go to for the settings.
Okay. So this is the one I want to keep. Go to settings.
Yep. And on the left-hand side, it'll say general. And then you're going to scroll down to where we found it earlier. Yep. You'll scroll down until we find merge pages. Yep. And then you'll click edit or do,
Merge pages.
Yep. From here, it's going to bring you to this page where it's going to verify your password and make sure it's you. Again, just like last time when we created this page or the other page, you want to do it from a computer that you use Facebook on regularly to make sure that the system doesn't flag you. All right, perfect. So from here, it's going to say choose the 2 pages you'd like to merge. Now, this is important because what you're telling the system is you're taking the first page and merging it into the second. So imagine if there's like, and Facebook does a really bad job about this. They should be putting like arrows in between.
Which one's going away, right? Which one's actually
correct. Correct. Yeah. So if you'll read down there, it says likes and check-ins from both pages will be, and I got something blocking it right there. What does it say for that one?
Likes and check-ins will be combined and shown on the remaining page.
Correct. Because, he got one. This hawk, he's so funny. He got one. I knew he was going to get it. I was just sitting here watching him. I was like, which one is he going to get? He actually picked up a lizard. But the likes and check-ins from both will be merged into one. So this is why it's important to merge the one that you do not want to keep into the other one. So there should be an arrow in between them. So what you're going to do is the one that we just created, the one with the higher likes, you're going to put it on the first box. So go ahead and start typing the name for it.
All right.
And it'll start populating them right there.
Oh, okay.
Boom. And now in the second box, you're going to put the one that you want to keep the content from.
Okay.
Perfect. So from here, you're going to go ahead and you got to make sure you got to verify. So you can only request this merge if you have admin access for both pages, which you do. The pages you merge must represent the same thing and have similar names. If you try to merge pages that aren't similar, the pages may be permanently unpublished, which is what occurred with our friend. Because he was trying to merge 2 pages that had almost the same name, but it made it seem like as if it was a series. So that's why he didn't realize. He just kept pushing it, and it broke. Merge pages cannot be undone once you've started the process. People who duplicate a page will be informed of the merge. This may take a few days to complete. Content from the merge pages, such as posts, photos, and usernames, will be deleted during the merge. So again, you want to make sure that you're merging the one that you just created into the old one, so that way you keep your content. And then again, it just tells you that the likes and check-ins from both pages will be combined and shown on the remaining page. So go ahead and click continue on this. And before you move any further, it says these pages can't be merged because they are too far apart. Each page can only have one place associated with it. Don't use this tool to merge different branches of your business. If these places refer to the same place, try changing the address on the destination place and waiting for the location to update. Okay, so it stopped us. Yep.
Was that the updates? The address maybe is not updated as of yet?
Correct. So they've gotten tighter on the restrictions, so it might not have done it just yet. So we can go ahead and safely leave this page by just clicking home. So that way you don't mess anything up. Just click on home. So that way it just moves forward to another page. Perfect. So from here, close the other tab out.
Okay.
Just so we're not, letting Facebook think that we're behind on the times. So let's go ahead and check both pages again to see if the addresses have updated just yet.
Okay, and edit page info. Oh, maybe because the city is not here.
Okay.
Or let me see if the other one has the city, if it's blank as well, right?
Yes, correct. Let's check the other one.
Yeah. They're both coming up blank. I believe that's.
It's strange though, because the map even looks different.
Maybe it's. Yeah. Map does look different. Yeah, that doesn't look like where it should be. Should I just put the city and update it again?
Yeah, I would try.
It's not even letting me. Every time I put the city, save changes, leaves it blank.
Let's go ahead and
Take off the address completely?
Yeah, let's do that. All right, save those changes.
Okay.
Same with the other page.
Now, if you had multiple, you only can merge two, right? 2 pages?
You can only do 2 at a time. So if you've got more than 2 for some reason, pick the first 2 that you want to work with, do the complete merge, and then you'll have to repeat the process again.
Maybe I should close this tab, open a new tab.
Yes, I would. And then go to the one you want to keep.
Okay, that's the one I want to keep.
Go to the settings.
And let's go down to the merge, right?
You're going to become a pro at this by the time we're done.
Yeah.
Same deal, the one that you just made with the more likes on the left. And then the old one on the right. And then we're going to click continue. And let's see what happens this time.
2 far parts.
Place associated with it. Don't use this. Okay. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to wait a little bit for the system to update, basically, because it keeps giving us that address thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's because we just made the change. So that's okay. So after this process happens, it basically just opens up a page that it's going to be working on the merge. So it's pretty straightforward, but that's the process by which you want to do it. Always merge the new one into the old one, and you always want to put that. What's going to pop up right after that is actually, and I can pull it up on my screen. Give me 1 second because I've got it right here. So I'll show you guys what it looks like afterwards, and give me 1 second. Let me do this. We're going to share my screen. Okay, we're going to do a Chrome tab. We're going to do this one. All right, can you guys see?
Let me take this one off, put yours up.
Perfect. All right, so let me open this up a little bit more. And then we're going to hit play. Is it flickering for you too or no?
No.
Okay, so for me, it's flickering for some reason. So you see what we did with Jennifer Encarnacion. So the one that was on the left was the one that we had just created, and the one on the right was the one that was her initial page. And so from here, we're going to go ahead and click continue. And this is what should pop up when you guys are at this stage. Like once the address thing clears, that's probably just because it was a quick update. This is what's going to happen. It'll tell you directly the page you'll keep, and the page, the duplicate page, you're going to merge into it. You'll see exactly how we did it. The page that she wants to keep is the one that has less likes, simply for the fact that that's the one that was originally there, but it has all the content, the posts, the videos, the reviews, all of it. The second page is the one that she's going to merge into it, and you'll see that it has all the likes, because what it's going to do is it's going to pull all the likes and all the check-ins from both and just save it to the one that you want. So it'll clarify that with you afterwards. And then
any duplicates will just not, it won't mess it up, right? Like that first page having.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, you won't have any issues with that. Request the merge. Let's see. This is a video that I had recorded a while back, so I don't know what I'm saying. I muted it so that way it wouldn't talk over me. Cool. It says you have successfully requested the merge, and then you'll click OK. Now from there, it'll just direct you back to, I believe, yes, it'll direct you back to the page that you're trying to keep as confirmation, and that's pretty much it. You just have to be patient with it. So what I would do in this time period is I would not post on either page until it's completed. So I would make sure that you guys let it be, let the Facebook algorithm do its work, and go ahead and go take a break from page. Post on your profile, post on your IG, post everywhere else until this merger is finalized, because you don't want anything else delaying the process by which it happens. So that's pretty much it. That's the simplicity of it when it comes down to it, and it's pretty straightforward. But you got to make sure that you do it right. Obviously, we got halted. It's just proof that the system is set in place to restrict any abuse of it, because this is the reason why. And I'll tell a backstory. In my college days, these large companies would pay us a few $1,000s to $10,000 to $20,000 to create pages for them, because it used to be really simple to migrate likes back in the day. We had a way that there was a glitch where I could go and force everybody to like one page from my profile, meaning all my friends, and then I could borrow your page and have you do the same thing. Well, by the time I had 20 accounts, you would have somewhere upwards of 10 to 20,000, maybe even 50,000 likes. We even sold one page that had $100,000 likes, or $100,000 likes. We sold it for $25K back in college. Whoa. Because we were social media marketers back then, and this is what we did. So Facebook didn't like the fact that I'd get a check for X amount if they didn't get a cut of it. So what they did was they realized what was happening is that these tech moguls and hackers like ourselves were highly profiting off of their technology without them getting a cut. So they shut it down so that way these companies would have to pay them for it. You know, when you go to run an ad for your page, there's options to pay for targeted advertising to generate more likes. That is specifically because of what we used to do. I actually just had a friend recently. He had over 1 million likes across a few pages, and he has been losing access to all of his pages because Facebook caught on to what he was doing, caught on to his accounts, and he's been reaching out to me saying, "Hey, can your contacts over at Facebook help me out?" And I was like, "No." And he's funny. He said, "You know, he's like, well, they're gonna have to deal with my attorneys soon." I was like, "Yeah, but you have to realize that this is their proprietary technology. I mean, you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to spend a lot of money with an attorney to do this." And he's like, "Well, this is how I make my money." And I said, "Well, you know, you're just like we did in the past. You're going to have to learn to navigate the pathways better," which is what we're doing now, right? So I don't sell those pages anymore, but we teach people how to generate it from their own because this is still allowed by Facebook. But because of what's happened in the past, they are restricting things, as you'll see. But it's a good thing because, you know, you'll see. Yeah, not everybody can do it, but you have to do it the right way. I like it like this because that's one of the reasons why I love EXP, right? Is because people are like, well, why do they have so many restrictions and all these things? And I'm like, I don't have any problems with EXP.
Doing it the right way is the best way.
Yeah, exactly. It's very black and white. It's very by the book, and it protects all of us. And that's one of the reasons why I love EXP. I'm a very black and white person by the book, and so that's why we teach people how to do this way now. So for those of you watching, if you have any questions, you know, obviously you can reach out to me for that. Gary's going to finish up this process. Gary, I would urge you that when you go to do this, screen record it. So that way you can share that video, because that one with Jenna Encarnacion is from a year ago. So you might have better luck with the newer stuff. I don't know if there's another page after that, or if there's something different than what I just showed. So I would urge you to record it and then post it afterwards, maybe in the comments or somewhere else that people can see the process by which you do it. Maybe post it on YouTube and then just copy the link over. I would urge you to do that just so people can see the new process. It's like when we first joined EXP, it's not the same now, right? The process is different. Now you can save your application halfway through. Before, it's like if your internet timed out or something didn't happen, you had to restart the whole process, and they had to delete the old file, and it was fun. So, but yeah, so that's it in a nutshell for sure.
I use Facebook a lot, but you know, I know after I do this, I can't use the Facebook too much for about a week. But what about IG? What about IGTV? Do you use that often?
So I don't use IGTV because I don't have enough followers to justify it, right? I have some friends. I've got Amanda Cerny. She has, oh man, let me even see how many followers she's got now. We were friends in college, and she went famous, and she uses it religiously. But I can tell you the difference between our pages. She is verified with 26.2 million followers. I I have 1,400. So IGTV is something that, yes, you can use it if you have 1,200 followers like myself. However, for her, it benefits her more because for her, she's a legit certified influencer. So she doesn't even do it herself. She just has somebody else recording her and it takes care of it. They take care of all her social media marketing and she's selling extra products. Now, do I use my stories? Absolutely. I use my stories a lot. I make sure I keep my stories under a minute because, any longer than that, you're going to have to do IGTV. But the reason I don't use IGTV is because I'm just frankly not familiar with a lot of its processes. Like I want to post a certain way and I want it to take up the whole screen. And for some reason, when I go to post, every time I've used IGTV, it just doesn't work out for me. So I do a lot of stories. I do them throughout the day. It keeps people engaged. They want to see what you do on a regular basis. Today alone, I think I've only posted 3. And one of them was like a boomerang of a pre-drywall construction meeting. And literally, I got 2 messages right after that. One of them was, where's mine, bro? From a friend of mine that's going to be shopping with me. And then the other one says, is that your house? Is that your next house? And I told him, no, we plan on finding like a lakefront property to build on. And he says, find me one too. So right there, just by posting something that I was just happened to be doing real estate related, had 2 people reach out to me immediately within 30 seconds because people get bored of the post because you got to realize how much time they're spending on each segment, right? So if they're scrolling through a news feed, it's because they're just monotonous scrolling. But if they're scrolling through your actual story, you already have their attention. Yeah. And they'll see what you're doing and they get interested in that because they're like, damn, that's what Dan was doing like 20 minutes ago. So he's active right now on helping this person buy a new construction home. So they're going to start asking questions. I've had a lot of people just reach out to me seeing that I was doing commercial one day. And now, we've been doing more commercial deals than I've ever done in my whole life, just because we were showing pictures and videos of buildings that we were showing to clients. And now everyone's like, oh, you do commercial too? Like they never would have known had we not used IG Story. So
a different audience, right? Totally different audience. Facebook. How many times do you post on Facebook?
So Facebook, I post 1 to 3 times a day. So I post things such as news articles that are prevalent, not politics or religion. I do things such as like, oh, the city's breaking ground here, or I-4 is going to be sped up during construction for I-4 is going to get sped up during coronavirus because there's less cars on the road. I'll post things like that because I don't want to draw negative attention. Now, do I think that you should be able to post, your religious and your political ideas? Sure. I don't. And honestly, I try to keep that to myself, and I have my strong beliefs on both. And I think that's for me to decide and not my clientele to judge me upon, because I do have 2 friends in particular that love to post political stuff on opposite ends of the spectrum. And the amount of comments they get on those posts are just obnoxious, to be quite honest. And I know that both of them are definitely losing clients, hands down, left and right. And I know that they're losing it because of it. So I'll post things like upcoming events in the area. I'll post things such as, like I said, little quick videos. I love to do updates. Like I have a Did You Know series. I try to do it every week where I give them something new and fresh. Like, did you know that the credit score limits went up because of coronavirus? Or, hey, did you know that down payment assistance is now back because they lifted those restrictions off coronavirus? Hey, did you know that first-time home buyers only have to put 3.5% down? Hey, did you know that on the outskirts of towns, almost all the towns, you can qualify for USDA 100% down? So I'll give them small snippets and I'll make these videos under a minute, and then I'll post them to IG, and then they auto post to Facebook.
So you use a lot of the auto post, right? Like any okay.
Yeah. So the way I do auto post is real simple. A lot of people pay for Hootsuite. Fun fact, in our marketing days, we created Hootsuite before Hootsuite existed, and we pitched it to a friend of ours, his dad, who was a GC here in Florida, had a lot of money to invest, and we pitched it to him, and he was like, I don't see anything in this social media future. Like, you can't make money off that. He was old school. Well, 3 years after we pitched him Hootsuite, Hootsuite existed. So I said, hey, remember that thing we pitched you? He's like, oh yeah, that thing that doesn't make money. I said, hey, look, Hootsuite's worth, like, at that time was like 6 million. And now it's probably worth like well over 100. But he was just like, what? He's like, well, let's do it. I was like, it's a little too late to do it now.
A little bit.
Yeah. So he's like, let me know the next venture. And we never really came up with another one. But a lot of people use Hootsuite. I don't have anything wrong with it. It's a great way to post cross-platform. but it costs money. What I just do is I just connect IG to Facebook. So you can actually connect it to the page that you want. You just have to convert IG to a business page. So when you go into your profile on IG, on the right-hand side, there'll be like an option to convert to a business at the bottom. There's like a settings button, and you can just go in there, and there's a business tab, and then you just click on that. And then from there, you can actually link it up to your business page where it auto connects. And I also have it set up to my Twitter. Now, I took some time on this. I took an entire day to set it up. What I did was I set it up to where if I post on Facebook directly, it will go to my Twitter. If I post on my Instagram directly, it can go to both my business page and Twitter. Now, the reason I set that up is because I discovered that if you set up your IG to connect to your Facebook and you post like that, it won't follow all the way through to Twitter. And the reason is because there's an algorithm coding that says this did not come as a post from Facebook. It came as a post from Instagram. So it's not technically a post. Don't know why that is. So because sometimes I only post things on Facebook, like articles. I can't post articles on Instagram. So sometimes I only post it on Facebook. So I have those both set up and tailored. So that way, when I do post something only on Facebook, it will still go to Twitter. I almost never use my Twitter, but it's just another form to just continually post. So I think my Twitter actually gets more hits than anything else, because that's probably getting like 4 to 5 posts a day, continually every week.
Okay. I know Twitter, there was people had a lot of fake followers on Twitter. Is there any way to generate real followers? Like same thing that we're doing in this Facebook?
Not that I know of. You know, the young kids say that Twitter's a joke. You know, they even say Facebook is like for old people. I know Todd Schroeth's kids the other day. He was telling them to plug in the phone to charge his phone, and they said, "What are you, ancient, Dad? We don't even plug in phones anymore." Those poor kids have no idea what a Nokia phone even is. And it's funny, but times are changing. So no, there's no way to do it with Twitter. Twitter's kind of on its way out, in my personal opinion. People
I think so too.
People like images, right? They like video, they like photos. TikTok is a perfect example of that. The kids are eating TikTok up. They just love it. They spend hours on it a day. Sean Romano, my business partner, even he said he was like, it was consuming him the other day. He's like, I got to get off TikTok. I literally spent the whole day doing nothing but watching TikTok videos, because it can be addicting. It gives you a lot of tailored content.
Do you feel like, TikTok is big now, but Snapchat was big a year ago, so it's just a matter of time of what catches on. I think coronavirus made TikTok famous. It gave a lot of kids a lot of opportunity to get on there more often without having classes, without having school. And a lot of adults that wanted to get into it because they didn't know what they were doing also had the time because they were away from their work. And it was just like that new cool thing. It's like when, Furbies were cool, or when Tamagotchis were cool and you couldn't find them at any Target and people were fighting over it. TikTok is the Furby Tamagotchi of social media right now. You can't get enough of it, but most people don't know how to work it. And it's interesting how their algorithms work. I don't know if it'll last for forever, because TikTok has a really bad habit, which they base their business off of. And they put people in singular buckets. So in Facebook, how you can have 3 categories, right? Like we were showing: real estate service, and then you had commercial and condos. TikTok will base your interactions and engagements with what you're watching off of what bucket you should be in. So I like a variety of things, right? So I like video games and funny humor videos, but TikTok doesn't like that. TikTok wants me in one or the other. And I'm like, no, because I want to be able to have a mix. I don't want to just watch kids playing Call of Duty on here all day long. I want to laugh at some funny animals or some funny people or some funny skits in between all of that stuff. I'd actually rather see less gaming. So it's trying to force me in one or the other bucket, but I know how to kind of keep it even balanced. But I don't think it'll last for forever unless they adjust that, because it's really trying to stick people in a singular bucket. And as kids, it works. The younger kids, they are in those singular buckets at this moment in time. If they're playing Fortnite, they're playing Fortnite, right?
That's it. And they'll watch it for days. I mean, perfect example is if you know anybody with a kid under the age of 7, all they do is watch YouTube. They have specific channels that they watch, and that's it. And TikTok's trying to create that singular momentum. So it's funny because a lot of realtors are like, you got to get into TikTok as real estate. And I'm like, it's only going to push you to other realtors. Like, I mean, that might be good for EXP for recruiting purposes, but if you're trying to generate an audience for clients, it's going to push you in front of other realtors, because it automatically assumes whoever's interested in real estate. Well, who's the people that are most interested in real estate? Realtors. right?
Yeah.
So it's going to put us in a singular bucket, and we're only going to see each other's stuff. Like I see a lot of other realtor stuff, and I know that they're not getting, I see it. They only get like 50 likes here, 20 likes there. And the reason they don't take popularity in it is because they're getting pushed out to other realtors who are competing against them and don't want to watch their content. So,
yeah, definitely.
So, but that's my lowdown on TikTok. I think that, I think that's more of a hobby. I don't think that's going to ever be I know Gary Vee pushes it a lot. He's like TikTok this, TikTok that, but even Gary Vee's not that popular on TikTok right now. So
So, I guess the presidents, stick to the Facebook, the YouTube. Is your YouTube page, how's that going?
I'm re-optimizing my YouTube page because that has some similar algorithms to TikTok, but I was doing it all wrong. Some quick snippets on how to maximize your YouTube page is that YouTube has a lot of cool algorithms to put your content in front of other people. They only make money if they're helping put your content in front of other searches. So YouTube is fantastic for people who want to go viral, but you have to do it the right way. So when people are searching, you have to think of how they're searching. Okay, how to buy a home as a first-time home buyer. If you're doing a video to cater to that audience, you have to answer that question in the first 15 seconds of your video. So what you would do is you would start your video as, hey, today it's Dan Rojas. We're going to be talking about how to buy your very first home as a first-time home buyer. It has to be in the first sentence, and it has to be in the first sentence.
You can break it down.
Break it down from there.
Right? Okay.
If you watch Gary Vee's Instagram and YouTube videos, now he's a huge hit there, right?
Yeah.
What does he do? His social media marketers make it look so cool. They actually won't even they'll take a snippet from the middle of the video and put it in the front. And because what it does is that he answers the question, right? Or he asks the question again in that snippet from the middle of the video, and then they put it at the front. And it's cool because it's engaging because you're like, wow, that's exactly what I was looking for. Well, how do you think that happened? The algorithms deemed that was something because it was in the first 15 seconds.
So maybe I'm doing it wrong too. Instead of, for example, downloading this video at the same time to YouTube, I should download it and put the snippet in the front and then upload it rather than it. Okay.
So what you should do is basically, I'm going to say something to the tune of like, and today we're going to be teaching you guys how to merge your Facebook pages successfully. And then take that snippet that we just said right there and just stick it in the front. And then that's it. And it's something so simple as that. And it's crazy because, they've been teaching those styles for a while and people don't even realize it. Also, it's how you name the video, right? So you want to say how to successfully merge your Facebook business pages, right? And that's going to be something that you do. And then you can put a dash afterwards and put some more stuff, but it has to be in the title. Another thing that they tell you to do is also when you download this video file, right? And you're going to upload it later, don't just download it and let it be the numbers or whatever the file name it gives you automatically. What you want to be doing is you want to rename it to exactly what the question is. How to successfully merge your two Facebook pages or two Facebook pages. And name that as the file name. It will give it more strength to be able to push it out. Because if you ever right click on a photo or a video anywhere and you look at the property details on it from your own computer or somebody else's stuff, it will actually show you the initial file name when they uploaded it. Now, if you were to type in like EXP logo into Google, right, it will actually highly put up a lot of the stuff because they saved it as EXP logo 1, 2, 3, 10, 20. So it's easy to find that content by simply Googling what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
Because of the file name. So it makes it easier. So when you're doing YouTube, those are like 3 huge things. It's first 15 seconds has to either state the question or repeat the question or say, we're going to answer this question today. The second thing you have to do is make sure that the title to the video on YouTube itself is the answer or the question itself repeating itself. And then lastly, the file name to really strengthen it and hit it home. That is it. You also want to have like a good niche on your YouTube page. So if you've got like these videos, right, where these are education, teaching videos, you want to have a separate playlist for that, right? So you want to have one channel and you want to have one playlist for all these videos. And this is why I'm redoing mine and rebranding mine, because they tell you and teach you that you don't want to have more than 3 pillars to your YouTube. So if you have more than 3 channels, expect your stuff to get downranked. It's going to be more confusing because, again, it's still trying to put you in buckets. Same way TikTok does, except it's not trying to put you in one bucket. It will just only allow you up to 3. So I'm redoing mine right now where I have separate playlists. So I have my podcast. That's one huge one. So it'll be the Takeover Podcast, and that's one channel. Then I've got my Did You Know series. And then I've got another one, which I forget what it is, but I have it written down somewhere, but a third one, which is another type of series and playlist. And that's all I'm going to have. I'm going to have 3 channels and that's it. Simply because if you put too much into it, it's not going to really help your algorithm, because the AI is struggling to find out and define you.
Right?
Yep. It's trying to define you as a content creator. And if you have too many confusing terms, it can't figure out who you are and who to give it to. Right.
Yeah.
So YouTube's huge. I mean, a lot of people have made a lot of millions of dollars on it. I mean, that one kid talks about toys. His parents put him onto it years ago. 26 million last year is what he made. And now he's got his
kids, I have my kids in front of the video all day. I'm like, all right, get the slime out, get this stuff out.
And he's got his own toy line now, all from just reviewing toys, which his parents thought were neat back in the day. And now the kid's set for life. And it's crazy how easy it can be nowadays. You know, this whole shift of wealth is definitely digital. If you're not with the times, you're definitely behind them. And, you know, I could say that about a lot of different industries, not just real estate. You know, I could say that about the car industry. That industry is still far behind on a lot of tactics and stuff. So they're still selling things the old way. Yeah,
I think us in the car industry was a too lacking in technology updates and just a struggle.
Oh yeah,
this Corona is just pushing us forward. And speaking of that, I know we have the summit coming up, the EXP Summit
next week.
I'm excited about that. You know, so please, everybody that wants to see the summit, reach out to Dan or myself. Put videos about it. I even did a walking tour of it today, and definitely it's going to be a good one.
It's going to be exciting. There's a lot of things coming up EXP wise that they're going to be announcing, and it's pretty neat how our sales actually for the company that we own, which is Virabella, for the digital world itself, the sales have been through the roof. I you know, that's one of the reasons why when this shift happened, they took some of our admin staff from EXP World and they shifted them over to Virabella, because we didn't have enough sales associates to field the call. So I know that was funny because we hit headways, because they were like, oh, EXP laid off like 15 to 25% of their admin staff from EXP World. I was like, no, I mean, yeah, technically they got fired from EXP World, but they got moved over to Virabella. Nobody lost their jobs. But it was because the sales phone calls went through the roof. I mean, so originally we had Stanford and the military licensing and getting their own worlds for training and communications and meetings. And then I think Harvard was another one. And there was like apparently 50 universities all picked up Virabella, just because they don't even know when they'll be able to go back. And some of them might reopen, but a lot of them are starting to realize like maybe it wasn't such a bad thing. We're downsizing on costs by switching over to this platform that streamlines us more. I mean, I know that nothing is going to go back to the same. No. My wife and I this week, we went to Texas de Brazil, and it was like a world of a difference. Before, they used to come to the table and cut off your meat. You went to the salad bar and picked up your food. They have a painted line around the salad bar that you cannot cross, and the server actually makes your plates for you. And then when you want meats, you just tell them what kind and what temp, and they bring it to your table. So it's going to be a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. The new normal, right?
Yep. But you know, it's not the end of the world. I think honestly, a lot of people shifted to digital very easily. A lot of people were scared, and I think it's going to be a good thing in the long run. I mean, the planet definitely took a breather. I know you've seen those satellite images of like less fog and smog across the world, and less pollution. So I mean, the world needed a breather at some point. Maybe that was it, but it definitely shifted the way the planet's going to work. And a lot of companies are filing for bankruptcy because they realize that it's not because they're not doing well or won't continue to do well. Like Neiman Marcus is filing for bankruptcy. Gold's Gym is filing for bankruptcy. It's not necessarily because they're going to close down completely. Like they might close it down bankruptcy wise and reopen a new company. But if you think about it, let's take gyms, for example. Right before this occurred, there was something called the mirror, right? So it's just like Peloton, where you get in front of a mirror and you can see, you're watching a screen and watching yourself at the same time. And they're teaching you these things. And that's where the future is going to go. And, Gold's Gym is just going to reinvest whatever money they have left into whatever they're shifting into. And Neiman Marcus is just going to reinstitute themselves somewhere else along the lines of Amazon. That's really what it's going to be.
I'm sure we're going to see some digital, things to put clothes on you to see how it looks, to see, instead of actually trying stuff on, even better. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I agree.
So I do thank you for all your help, my friend.
My pleasure.
I definitely will focus on that YouTube channel, because I definitely want to build that content, and maybe we could do something about that as well after you work out the kinks and see what's going on that way. definitely everybody reach out to Dan or myself if you want to visit the summit coming up.
Yep.
And we'll be back here soon so I can show you guys all the updates and what's coming up. And if we have any other topics that you guys want, please let us know. And we'll definitely have it on here. All right.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thanks, Gary, for having me.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks a lot. And you guys have a great rest of your day.